Hi, everybody, and welcome to Budget with Tiffany. I'm Tiffany. I'm so excited to have you here today. I'm going to be doing my weekly check-in. However, I'm going to do it a little differently than I've been doing. Normally, I come in here once a week and go over all of my spending and any new income that we had for the week. But this week, I'm going to come in here each day and show you kind of what I do if every time I come into You Need a Budget on a daily basis. And then I'll put it all together in one video and put it all to, have it out there for you guys to see. So I just was in here yesterday filming my weekly check-in, so not a whole lot has changed, but I did go grocery shopping and stuff this morning, so I have several receipts over here that I need to enter. DJ is still on his trip, so he still has more transactions coming in and pending and everything, so we'll see what we can take care of today. So yeah, so right now we have one overspent category. um, that is just something that is an uncategorized transaction, not actual money that was overspent. But let me go account by account. So DJ used his, I'm guessing, debit card to make a purchase at Ingles in Asheville, I believe. So this is related to his trip. So we're just going to say North Carolina trip, and that was 2882. And then these were both transactions that were pending yesterday. It was our Hulu subscription and my YouTube membership to Eva from Budget Your Life. So these are now no longer pending. They have cleared, so they are fully taken care of. And then we will come in here to DJ's. So a lot of the transactions that we saw yesterday, or I guess for you guys last week, were pending. They just hadn't cleared yet. So a lot of them have cleared now. So I'm gonna go ahead and approve those. And then I think looks like the Twin Leaf Brewery and the Wicked Weed Brewing both still pending, as is his the hostel stay. And then so this one downside with him traveling without me. So it looks like the Twin Leaf Brewing was pulled in a second transaction, and so I'm guessing this is the same transaction as this one. It's just this one didn't have the tip. So what I will do is make it so that they are now the same amount, and then I can click both, and I can come down here and match them, and then approve them. And then let's see, don't see one for Wicked Weed, so that one still is just pending. So I don't know what Daddy Max is, but I know it's related to his trip, so we will assign it to that. And yeah, I don't actually know what that is. And then today, DJ is driving down to Charlotte and going to stay at a hotel in Charlotte. So this is, it was a pending, scheduled transaction because as soon as he booked it, I went ahead and scheduled it. So I will approve that. So now all of the pending transactions, or majority of the transactions, are fully cleared. It looks like his hotel in Knoxville is still not cleared, and then the Wicked Weed and his hostel, and then he hasn't actually checked into the hotel yet today. And then he still has a couple pending transactions. Asheville Pizza and Brewing, not sure why it's two. I'm guessing maybe he bought a beer and then didn't open a tab and then did something else. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm not going to touch these until they actually come in. And then iMarket, I think, is the gas station at Ingles. Has like its own little convenience store type thing. So I'm guessing he probably got like a coffee or something for $4.25, but I don't know. Southern Porch, I don't know what that is. I'm guessing food, but and then Zuma Coffee, I'm guessing he went and got breakfast. or something yesterday, or maybe that was lunch. I know that he and some coaches that he used to coach football with in Asheville got together and went and watched a local football team. They're doing their playoffs and stuff, and I'm not sure how far along in their bracket they are, but they went to watch a team. It wasn't the team that they had coached for, but it was another team. The team that they coached for actually was still playing, but they were going to be playing a game like 2 hours away. So he's like, I'm not going to drive 2 hours after just driving all the way down there. So they just picked another team to go watch. So they, I think, went out to get food and stuff like that. So that's all of his transactions that I can do. And then looks like nothing else pending. Let me see. Yeah, okay. So now we can come into my Chase Freedom card. So I did go see Wicked for the first one, part one, yesterday in theater, and it was so much fun. I had seen it twice at home, but did not see it in theater when it first came out. So I was really excited to get to see it, and it was really great. And now can't wait that this time next week I will be watching Wicked for good, and super excited. I guess technically it starts at 3 o'clock, so it's not completely this time next week, but close enough. So yeah, that was a lot of fun, and I remember back when the matinee price used to be way less than $11.75, but yeah. I remember when I lived in DC, I would occasionally go to a movie by myself in the middle of the day, and it was kind of fun, but it was definitely way less than $11.75. But that was in 2002 to 2005 time frame, so it was like 20 plus years ago. So I guess I can't really say much that the price has gone up since then. So, but now let me add in some transactions that we have from my shopping this morning. So up first, I went to Costco. Oops. Okay, now we're gonna come back, pick today. Okay, so I went to Costco and I actually returned I had bought these like English muffin breakfast sandwich things, and I ate one and it was okay. I didn't love it, so I decided to return them. So, because I figured I probably wasn't going to end up eating them, and I didn't really want them to go to waste, so decided to return them. So that was $15.99. And then while I was there, I got other things, and this is going to be a split transaction. So I bought some cat food, I bought some Kleenex, I bought some toilet paper, and I bought blueberries. So the total ended up being $91.72. So groceries, we're gonna do I still don't really, so they put got it. I don't go to Costco enough to know exactly how they do their discounts, but okay, so it's $5.49 minus $1.50, so I think that should be $3.99. Yeah, that was so it's $3.99 for the blueberries, and then we're gonna go to pet care, and so it was $41.99 for like 60 cans of wet cat food. Um, and I'm just gonna go with 1.09 for our sales tax because it's close to that, 9%. So it'll be $45.77. And then the rest of it is going to go to household and toiletries for the $41.96. And yeah, so this is wet cat food. And this is Kleenex and toilet paper. Okay, and we're going to save that. Then I went to Target and I did a return there. What do I want to put this under? I think we'll do household and toiletries. And this is the return, so it'll be, it was $8 even. Then while I was at Target, I bought some stuff. I bought, let's see, I spent $76.66 for groceries. I got some 2 cans of roasted red peppers. I bought some ravioli, and I bought something else. I was just literally there and I don't remember. Um, I don't remember. So anyway, so that ended up being $17.66. I bought DJ, he needed some deodorant. I bought some hand soap. I bought some Febreze. I bought some batteries, and then I bought so we use olive oil a lot for, like salads and then also cooking, and we usually leave the bottle that I get at Aldi out on the counter with like um our balsamic vinegar and like pepper and stuff, because we use it so often when we're cooking or making salad and stuff. And but Soda likes olive oil, and if I'm not watching and there's like the pan sitting on the stove without the heat on, but I've already put the oil in the bottom of the pan to get ready to like start cooking, she'll like come over and start licking it. And if there's like, if I've made like potato wedges or something in a bowl and there's olive oil in there, she'll come over and start licking it. So now she has started licking the bottle because, just a little bit of the oil ends up coming down on the outer part. And, um, which is fine, that wouldn't really be that obnoxious, but when she licks it, it moves it so that it ends up banging up against the wall. And we'll like get woken up in the middle of the night to her like licking the olive oil and it banging up against the wall in the kitchen. So we've had to start hiding it. And so I bought a small little olive oil container that you can put the olive oil in and stuff. And I'm hoping that she'll leave that one alone. But if not, it's small enough to fit into the cupboard right above where we keep it, so that way we could stick it in the cupboard where the bottle that we get from Aldi is too big, it's too tall. So we can't put it in there, and we don't want to lay it down. So yeah, so that was all the things that we bought there. So that ended up being $59. And then I went to Aldi. Technically I went to Aldi before I went to Target, and this is, we'll have a split here. So we spent $51.64, and I bought some distilled water. So we have household and toiletries for $2.70. And then, oh, I bought a gift for DJ's cousin and her family. And this is like, we usually just give his cousin and her family like just something small. Like usually she makes us like some baked goods, and so sometimes we'll do baked goods, but a lot of times we'll just give them like something small. Um, where is that on here? That was $6.85. I know she's not gonna watch this. We just bought her like the mixture of like the 3 different kinds of popcorn. Um, And then 'cause she's got three younger kids, like all in like middle school to, I think her oldest one might be finally in ninth grade, maybe, or close to being ninth grade. So, between just snacking and watching movies and stuff like that, they eat popcorn pretty regularly. And then I bought everything else looks like I think it's groceries, so 42.09. So let me come over to the plan. And we still have over $100 left, so yay. Didn't come in too bad. That return helped um, for $15.99. So, but even then, let's see, 21, like $63 out of 80, so pretty good. Helped that with DJ being out of town, I didn't need to buy as much groceries and stuff. So, because I myself don't eat as much food as the two of us do together, so um, our leftovers last a lot longer. So yeah, so that is it for today. I will be back tomorrow to do some more um, transactions. Yeah, nothing else pending. So I'll be back tomorrow. Okay, so it is now Sunday, and I am going to jump in here and go through any transactions that have posted and hopefully cleared since yesterday. So, as we can see, we've got a few transactions that have the little dot next to them for the accounts to show that some additional transactions came in. So, we're in my Chase Freedom card, and all of the transactions that I manually entered yesterday have now come in. So I'm going to approve those, and they are still considered to be pending in um, on the credit card. So that's why they're still showing the little clock icon, meaning they're still pending. Um, I did also make a payment yesterday to all of our credit cards for the outstanding, non-pending cleared balance. So we will come, yeah, so got that one for Sapphire card, and then for DJ, um, so he left, got checked into Charlotte yesterday and stayed overnight, hung out with a friend, or was going to hang out with a friend last night, but ended up not being able to do so last night. So they are getting together for lunch today, probably doing so while I'm filming this. And so he will be then leaving Charlotte to drive up to Winston-Salem today, and we'll be checking into a hotel in Winston-Salem. He's going to meet up with another friend of ours from law school. And then tomorrow he will start the journey back to Minnesota over the course of 2 days. I think he's going to stop in, Indianapolis on Monday, and then he'll do the rest of the drive back to Minneapolis on Tuesday. So very excited to have him home. Um, so yeah, the rest of his transactions currently are still pending, I'm guessing, because it's the weekend. It's taking a little longer, but um, he, let's see, are there any that I can, so I know the travel, oops, let's do the North Carolina trip. And then Duncan, some of these I'm not going to add in because I don't know for sure if they'll change. Like the Asheville Pizza and Brewing, I don't know if those will change. The iMarket one, I'm guessing probably won't, because I'm guessing that was probably like coffee, and maybe a donut or something. Zaxby's, I'm pretty sure, because that's like a McDonald's-y type place. Um, so that should be the normal price. Um, DJ did buy another gift that not for family but for a coworker. Um, he's mostly been buying alcohol to give to people as like gifts, but for this particular coworker who does not drink, he bought something else for them. Pretty sure this is gas, so I'll add that in. As you can see, we're signing more to the category than what is in the category. Let's see, so for Ingles Market, we have this was buying some more beer to bring home, like local Asheville beer to bring back for either himself or a friend or other friends. He's also bought some cheer wine to bring home, and then he bought some Texas Pete because it's a favorite of ours. So we're just gonna put this to travel, and then 152.55. The hard part is like the hotels charge really random, like holding, and then the actual amount is different because I keep getting the receipts showing how much it's going to be when he checks in. Plus, we knew how much it was going to be. So, but then they like have like a larger amount pending, so it's really weird. Because they penned more. So let me come over here and go to well-being, and so we've already spent $164.89 more than the $950 that DJ had set aside. And then it's also going to be, yeah, and then I think it's also saying when you account for the upcoming hotel in Indianapolis, it's saying $271.36. So I am going to I'm going to move 300 from our regular travel to this one. It is not going to cover everything, but it'll start there. And really just doing this, like I mentioned, so that we can see how much he actually spends on his trip down to Asheville and back. And then that category will roll away and it'll be in the general travel, but just curious. So that is it for today. So I will be back tomorrow with some more updates. So see you then. Good morning. It is Monday morning. I am waiting until time to go upstairs to work, so I figured I would jump in and walk through any of the transactions and everything. And as you can see, I do actually have a little bit of money to work with today. So let me go through. So up first, DJ, or the payment that I made to DJ's credit card came through. So I'm gonna match that transaction to the one that I had entered the other day. So that is still pending, and then in our joint Capital One account, the payments to, or not payments, I moved, yeah, the payments to my two Chase cards, credit cards came through and posted. And then I got $30.14 for Etsy. So yay, thank you very much for helping with that. And then DJ sent over one of his friends, gave him some money to buy him some stuff while he is in Asheville and North Carolina in general, and bring it back to him. So he sent him some money, and since this is really reimbursement for the travel, I am just going to put it in here. And then I filmed my Mini Monday, month ahead, and long-term savings challenge binder yesterday, and I ended up adding $170 into my month ahead binder. So I set up a transaction to our emergency fund to account for that extra $170. And then I completed the $800 Section 11 in the 10K box challenge from Amazing Alley Co. So I went ahead and set up the transaction to our investment account and got that set up to be invested. So yay. And then let's see, coming down here, we just have the corresponding payment to my Chase Sapphire card. Hasn't connected or matched up with the transaction in on Chase's website yet, so still uncleared and no matching yet. And then in my Freedom card, looks like the transaction for Target cleared. Funnily enough, not the refund, just the actual payment, but that always seems to happen, that the refund takes way longer than the payment, the purchase. So, and then in DJ's Marriott card, we had a bunch of stuff that happened with purchases we previously entered. So let's see, we're going to approve those. So those are cleared. So that was his hotel in Knoxville, going out to Wicked Weed, his credit card payment that I set up, and Duncan. And then coming up a little higher, got a few more that, so we got a gift that he got at Mass General Store, all the alcohol and cheerwine and such that he bought at Ingles, and then so those two cleared, and then his hotel in Winston-Salem matched up with the previously entered transaction. And then one more, we've got the matching for his hotel in Indianapolis, where he'll be checking in today when he gets to Indianapolis. And then we've got a couple other transactions. So let's see. So this, I don't know why it didn't connect. Normally it connects and recognizes that it's the same transaction, but it didn't. So we are going to that's weird. So normally you can match them. Both mark. I'll have to take a look at that, why that's showing up as two separate transactions, because DJ said he only did two, and so they should be able to match up. So I'll have to look into that. The iMarket, I think, was probably just coffee and gas. And then looks like the transaction for the Asheville Pizza and Brewing came through. So yeah, so I'll take a look at that. And then pending transactions, still have a bunch of transactions. So let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure, because they're still showing one other Asheville Pizza and Brewing. So I don't know if it was like one was the tip and one was the food or the drink or whatever, and they just were put in as separate transactions. I'm not sure, but Marriott Hotel is just one of the hotels down here that's already entered, but they always penned it for more than the actual hotel is. And yeah, so a bunch of stuff that looks like mostly food or gas or whatever still pending. So So I was about to say that was it, but let me come over here. And for the $30.14, I do have a underfunded account. So we got our, well, it's not technically our property tax bill, it's the proposed property tax bill because of like they have to go to like have a meeting about it and discuss what the how much is going to be approved for any increases and changes and stuff. So right now they have our property tax bill as being um, excuse me, I had to yawn. As being going up by like 15%. So when I recalculated how much was going to be needed, I'd originally said 300 per month, but now it's going to come out to be about $333.33 per month, and I rounded up a little bit. I'm hoping that they might not actually approve the full increase, but I also property taxes is kind of like a necessary evil. Like you don't like having to pay more, but at the same time, you know that it goes towards, helping out your community and providing a lot of services for your community and stuff. So I am going to throw the extra $30.14 in there. So I'm still underfunded by $3.19. So when we get our next pay, which maybe today, DJ sometimes gets paid on like the 17th, but I'm guessing because the 15th was on Saturday that they haven't actually run the payroll fully yet. So it'll probably be tomorrow that he'll get paid. So, but yeah, so I will be back tomorrow. So happy Tuesday, everybody. I am back in here in my YNAB to go through any outstanding transactions that posted since yesterday when I was in here last. So let me go over to our US Bank checking account. So we have the payment for DJ's Chase Marriott card. So I'm going to approve that. And then I actually just came through to the ATM today to withdraw some money to pay for our gutter cleaning on Friday. So I'm going to put this into cash for right now because I won't actually pay it out until Friday. And so I'm just going to transfer this to cash and show this as a transfer out. And so now we see the corresponding transaction. So when I actually pay him on Friday, then I will come in here and add that transaction then. In our joint account, DJ got paid today. So we have the $1,450.19 that I will budget when I finish going through the transactions. In our Chase Sapphire card, it's just the payment that I made. So we're going to approve that. And then on the Chase Freedom, we just have the different transactions that I entered the other day, and they have officially cleared. So I'm just going to approve all of those. And then on DJ's Marriott card, a lot of his transactions are starting to clear. So for Cookout, Zaxby's, Murphy Express, which looks like it's probably gas. Those are all the ones that previously were pending that have cleared. So we're going to approve those. And then let's see, we have Wedge Brewing Foundation. I'm guessing a donation, but I am not 100% sure on that. But the Wedge is in Asheville, so it might just also be a beer. Protagonist Beer, guessing also a brewery, for $8. And then Brothers Pizzeria, so I'm guessing he got some dinner. And he is on his way home. He texted me when I left work and said he just gotten into Wisconsin So he should be home in a few hours. So very excited. Okay, gonna refresh. Okay, then Green Sage is a cafe in Asheville. So he went to the one in downtown. That was $15. And then Southern Porch, I don't know actually what that is. That's not a place I remember from when we lived there, but that was for $18. I'm guessing food or something similar. So a lot of his transactions have officially cleared. Got a few still pending, mostly his hotels. And then got a bunch of pending transactions still up here. Some of them might go away. Some of them are still just will eventually show up, but I'll leave them pending for right now. So right now we have $42.11 for overspending. And then let me see, knowing that a few of these are probably not going, like the Marriott Hotel one is already taken care of down below. Just while it's pending, it doesn't match it. So we have about $267 additional that we anticipate. So on top of the 4211. So let me move over here to well-being. And so let me cover this from travel. And then I think I'm just going to move another 400 to travel for his trip. And I think that should cover most everything else. Might be some other transactions from what he's doing right now that haven't even showed up and pending yet, because it does take a little bit of time for it to go from the credit card over to YNAB. So usually when we're traveling together, I keep all the receipts and enter them in each day, but since I'm not there, I can't do that. So let me now come in. So yeah, so our 1,450.19 is what DJ got paid. So I do have one underfunded account. I mentioned this yesterday, that our property tax estimate to still be approved, but what they are proposing would be like a 15% increase. So I'm going to just save it like it's going to be that increase. And when they change it, I can always change how much we save. So I just added the $3.19 extra, I think it was. So took care of that. And then I'm going to come over to December and go through all of our so I think the last time I started, or I had money to actually put in here, it was before I did the reset of my budget categories. So it's a little bit different now, but so I'm going to add $40 for my fuel, $60 for my food, and $25 for my spending. Oh yeah, and that's right, because when even when I did the reset, I originally didn't set up categories, but now I've set up or target amounts for my spending until later. So eating out, I'm gonna do 200, 350 for groceries. Going to do $100 for dates, do 78.98 additional for giving to get us up to $150 for coaching. DJ's coaching fees is already fully funded until we pay that in January. Christmas, we already hit our $600, technically $500, but then I moved $100 extra to help pay for like Christmas cards and stuff. But we did end up getting, or DJ got a couple gifts. DJ got a gift, and then I got a gift for somebody for Christmas. Um, for gifts for others, we're gonna set aside 25. DJ's parents are both turning 65 next year, so we want to get them kind of a bigger gift, since 65 is kind of like a bigger birthday. Um, we want to do kind of like a experience or something for both of them, something that they both would enjoy, probably separately, not together. But DJ already has an idea in mind for his dad, and we have a couple of thoughts for his mom, but we're still debating. Um, for opportunities, we're going to do 100. Clothing, we are going to do 20. Hair, I already put the money in there. Health, I'm going to do 25. Hobbies, I just need to add $5 more, so we got 15 total. Massage, I'm going to do 47. Tattoo, I'm going to do 25. Technology, 50. And let's see. Come down here. Utilities, I need to do, so I think the $335 was what I originally planned and would need, but I decided to do just an even $310, and that way I always have a little bit of a cushion. Property taxes, again, just need to add that extra amount, so the extra $33.33. Home insurance we've already funded. Appliances we already funded. Home maintenance, I just need to add $836 to get us to $150. Household and toiletries, I just need to add 20 to get us up to 70. Got most of them funded, so yay. Actually, let me see, underfunded. Doing pretty good. So we'll do $20 into yoga, get that one out, and we'll do $84.68 towards car maintenance. So that just leaves us about $1,915.32 left to fund for the rest of the month, which should be more than covered by my paycheck. Do I get paid this week? I think I get paid this week. Yes, because last week I didn't have any money to budget. So yeah, I think I get paid this week. I lose track of time, which week is which. Um, so yeah, so I think, let's see. So we just need to add the extra 1,000 for the mortgage. We're not starting to do our brokerage or our Roth IRAs until next year, since we already fully funded them for this year. Brokerage, anything extra that we have once we fully fund the month will get put towards brokerage. Base is something DJ funds depending on how often he plays the bass and if he has any money left over from his spending, which, considering he just spent the last week traveling, he'll hopefully have money left over. His spending for next month is fully funded, as is mine. Our joint spending is fully funded. Our relationship categories are all fully funded. We'll start Christmas next year. Well-being is all funded except for travel. House is all fully funded. Car, mostly funded on car maintenance. We still need to do new car. Kitties are all fully funded. Our subscriptions are fully funded. And our kind of more miscellaneous expenses are all fully funded. Our credit card payments are good. All of these savings are related to my binders, so those are all good. Same with that binder, and then just some future savings that we want to do. So yeah, ouch, just like knocked myself in the chin. So that is all the budgeting we get to do for this day. I will be back tomorrow to go through some more pending transactions or any additional transactions that come in between now and tomorrow. So I will be back tomorrow, Wednesday. So happy Wednesday, everybody. I unfortunately have this video, and as I was editing it, found out that there is no audio, so I'm trying to do my very first voiceover. So I am playing the video while I record this, so I'm going to try. So we're jumping into You Need a Budget, and I'm showing here that there was just this $20 cash transaction that DJ charged on our Fidelity account, no transactions in my Freedom Chase account. And then we're in DJ's Marriott card, going through and clearing the transactions that, or approving the transactions that cleared since yesterday. And then I don't remember what I was talking about, so just adding in that got North Carolina trip for Duncan, guessing it was a donut. Um, he got something at the BP gas station for $5.51, so I'm guessing probably just coffee and such. Incendiary Brewing Company for $9.50. DJ is a big brewery fan, so he was trying to check out lots of different breweries in Asheville while he was there. I realized I categorized that BP transaction as the wrong thing. DJ had noted that he thought it was funny that McDonald's automatically categorized as for coaching, because he tends to go um, to McDonald's when he's taking like a kid that he coaches to McDonald's. So he thought it was cool that it auto-populated as a coaching transaction, but this time it was part of his travel, so it was $9.85. I think I also talked at the beginning that DJ made it home last night, Tuesday night. Um, so very excited to have him home. He got home probably, I think, like 7:30, 8 o'clock. So he had done a transaction at Common Market for $14.50, thinking that was food. Biscuitville is a place in Winston-Salem that he loves, so he wanted to make sure he did that when he was there. So that was $16.76. Went to Crepe Growlers. I don't know if that's like a restaurant, or since it has growlers, it might be a brewery that he also got food at. I'm not sure. Quick Stop, I'm guessing, is gas, so it was $28.74. And then Casey's was a transaction that he told me that was actually something he spent for himself. It's a bourbon that he really enjoys, and it's generally tends to be very expensive, and he hardly ever finds it, and he happened to find it somewhere along his trip, so he decided to buy a bottle. And so he said to put that against his own transaction or his own category instead of the travel. Just going over some of the still pending transactions, saying that the Fairfield Inn and Courtyard transactions we think are just, holds that the hotels put, because we had prepaid for his hotels in Winston-Salem and Indianapolis. So I think they just put a hold on his credit card. So we're waiting for those to go away. And then he has Taco Bell, Culver's, some gas at Exxon Mobil and Mapco that are all still pending. So I think that's what I'm kind of talking about right now. It's funny when you don't remember what you were talking about. So now we're going up to the budget, pulling up the travel category under well-being and showing that he still has $272.71 in his for his trip. Obviously ended up being more than the 950 that he had originally had set aside, but perfectly cool. And then I was making note that I had created two new categories, one for a girls' trip that a few of us were wanting to do to go to Las Vegas and visit Eva from Budget Your Life, and then setting up a category for the budget convention that Chrissy from Mom Life Co. is doing in August of 2026. So I set up two new categories for those, and probably going to start funding them from when I do my finish up my travel binder. And I did also note that the $535 that I did add in there was from when I finished the budget convention box challenge from Margie at the Budget Evolution. So I moved that $535 down there. And now I'm just kind of saying that I kind of guessed on how much I think the trips are going to take, looking kind of at estimated flights, what I think I might spend on food, hotel. Eva and I are sharing a hotel room at the convention, so I know about what that's going to be. So just kind of estimating on what I think the cost for both of those trips is going to be. And that I'll set aside a little bit each month, plus whatever I add from the travel binder when I finish that, which when I'm filming this voiceover, I actually just recorded the video today where I finished the travel binder. So get to do that as part of my reallocation video at the end of the month. So very excited about that. I don't know what I'm really talking about at this point in time. I was talking a lot. I think I must be talking about the convention since I moved my mouse by the convention. So yeah, so that is it. So I will see you tomorrow. Happy Thursday, everybody. So I am back in YNAB to go over transactions, and as you can see, I got paid. This is the first part and larger part of my paycheck for this pay period. The rest will be deposited tomorrow. So, but before we go through and assign net money, let me go through spending. So no transactions in our bank accounts other than my pay. So let me go ahead and clear that. And then no transactions on my credit cards. And then DJ's card, most of the rest of the transactions have come in. So we will clear his final hotel in Indianapolis. And then he had several transactions that I will go ahead and approve. So Casey's was this one that we already had talked about yesterday that he said was actually for his spending, and that looks like that is still pending. Culver's he picked up on his way back somewhere between Indianapolis and home for $6.53. Taco Bell, same thing. Oops. Just realized that was the wrong travel. So Taco Bell for $7.07, and then ExxonMobil, I believe, was his final gas purchase, or at least one of his final gas purchases. So we just have that Casey's that is pending, that has been entered, and then yeah, those two transactions related to the hotels that we think will probably go away, and then I'm guessing this MAPCO is another gas purchase. So I think I'm going to just go ahead and enter that and leave those other two there. And then let's see, he's got a transaction. So it looks like he bought, so we went to law school at Wake Forest University in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So it looks like he bought something there. And I don't remember if he mentioned that or not to me, so I will have to check on what this actually is, whether it was a gift or I know he mentioned maybe trying to get his dad something, but I don't remember him actually saying he did or not. So, um, I am I'm going to put it in gifts for now for Christmas, but put a question mark, and I will ask DJ about it when he gets home tonight. So we will come back to plan, and let me expand this. So we have our $1,759.82 that I got paid today, and we, I believe, should be all. Oh, I will not worry about the girls' trip spending right now. If I was gonna say if you watched the last video, but it's all gonna be part of this one video. Um, I set up this trip category to do a girls' trip, but I'm gonna fund this out of my trip binder or travel binder when I finish that. So let me pop back over to December, and we are getting fairly low with the number of transactions that we have left that are not funded. So we still have our travel, and again, I'm gonna kind of wait until I finish my travel binder, which will be next week before I do anything about travel. So car maintenance, I need to add in another $1,532 to get that fully funded, and then I need to add in $500 for car maintenance or new car, and then I need to add another $1,000 for our mortgage. So yay, now fully funded for all of our categories with the exception of travel. But let me come back through here. So we got our debt fully taken care of. DJ's stuff, me, our joint spending, our relationship stuff, our other well-being categories with the exception of travel is fully taken care of. Home maintenance or home categories are all taken care of. Great. Let me just double check. Yes. Car is all taken care of. Pets are all taken care of. Subscriptions, all good. Miscellaneous, our credit cards are good. Savings are all related to the binders. Same thing with debt binder and our wish list. So now that I have extra money after fully funding, I'm going to come back to November, and basically now this is what I used to do before I started doing the channel, is any money that I had left over after fully funding the next month I would put towards our goals. So DJ's base goal is his own goal. He puts money aside out of his own spending money based on the amount of times he practices his bass, and also if he has any money left over. So that's his goal to take care of. He just tells me how much to move over. Our Roth IRAs are fully funded for 2025, and we won't start doing 2026 until next year. So basically our goal, besides paying down our debt, our mortgage a little faster, is to try to invest as much as possible. So I'm going to put the extra $244.50 towards our brokerage account. And yeah, so I will get another $750 tomorrow. So I think I'm going to go through and just double check before I log on to do this video tomorrow, just to double check that there's nothing else that maybe I'd want to add a little extra money to, taking into account that when I finish up my long-term sinking funds binder and my travel binder, that money will come in here to fund categories and stuff. So yeah, so I think that is it for today. So I will see you tomorrow. Happy Friday, everybody. I can't believe it is Friday. So excited. So I'm going to jump in and do my final day of my weekly check-in. So as you can see, I've got some money to assign, but first let's go in and review transactions. So I'm gonna come over to here to all accounts just because we now have way less transactions now that most of DJ's trip has finished up and been able to be reconciled. So had a couple final transactions on his account. So this is that transaction that he said he had bought, I think, some bourbon for himself. That finally cleared, as did his final gas purchase for his trip. Then yesterday on his way home from work, he stopped by our, kind of co-op in our area, and he picked up some coffee for himself and also picked up something that I needed for groceries. So that came out to be $14. I paid my Chase Freedom card, so we have the inflow to the credit card account as well as the outflow from the bank account. I also transferred $2,000 from our Capital One joint account here into our Fidelity joint account. And the main reason I do that is because our Capital One account pays really minimal interest, like way less than 1%, where our Fidelity account is invested in a money market account. So I think it's getting like 3.6% or so right now. So try to keep or move over extra cash occasionally. So that was that. And then my 99 cents for my iCloud subscription came through, and I got the rest of my paycheck. I do this because our US bank checking account charges a fee unless you have like an auto deposit from like a paycheck or something get deposited into it, and it has to be, I think, like $1,500 a month. So I just do $750 from each paycheck just so that I don't have to worry about it, and they waive the fee. DJ's credit card that he used primarily for his trip, the statement just came through today, so I went ahead and set up payment for that. So I showed the payment leaving the checking account, the US bank account, and going into the Marriott account. So got all of those, so not too bad. And then since we have our $750 from the rest of my paycheck, I want to assign that out. The only thing, so I mentioned yesterday that I was going to go through and see if there was anything that I wanted to add some additional money into. And the only thing that I really could see was I didn't really create this My Spending account until recently. And so starting in December, I was going to put $25 a month in, which I have, but I decided there's a couple things that I might want to get for myself in the next like week or two. So I was going to add $25 in there just so that I had it. If I don't need it, then it'll roll over to next month. But figure while I had the money, might as well do it. So the rest of the money is going to come up here and be put into our brokerage account category, since that is our primary goal at this point in the year, is to put majority of the extra money into our brokerage account. So that is all of that. And then since it is the Friday and need to do the monthly spending, or reassign the weekly cash stuffing, the money for the week. That is what I was trying to say. First, let me review our categories that I, for the rest of November, take money out of if we don't spend. So for my food, I did not eat out at all this week. So I'm going to take that $15 and put it back up into ready to assign. Eating out, we did not eat out this week. Well, I mean, DJ did a lot, but that was all out of the travel budget. While he was gone, I did not. So that was from before he left. So I am going to take the 83 cents and put that down to spending. And then our cap is $100 and we have 152, so I'm going to take $52 and put that back up to ready to assign. And then for groceries, I'm going to take the 2 cents and put that into spending. And then our cap is $75 and we have 96. So that is a difference of $21 that I'm going to move back up to ready to assign. And then the only other category is dates, and I'm gonna take a penny and put that there just so that's an even $69 since it was 99 cents. So I'm gonna take, so our cap is $50, so I'm gonna take the 19 and put that up to ready to assign. So we have $107 that we didn't spend this last week out of our kind of weekly spending. So I'm gonna come down here and add that into our month ahead. So when I play in my month ahead binder next week for the last time, I'll have an extra $107 to put in there, so yay. And then I need to come up here to next month. I'm going to take the 1642 and put that up to ready to assign. And then I need to add, let's do this in order so that I don't mess myself up. I'm going to add $25 to my dates so that or not to my dates, but to dates so that we can get it back up to the $75. I'm going to add $60 to eating out. So now we have 160 for groceries. We're going to add 80, so that gets us to 155 for food. For in case probably won't eat out next week. I'm only going into the office 2 days since it's Thanksgiving next week, and so I'll be off on Thursday, and so I probably won't, but just in case, I have the $15 to use. And then for our joint spending, I'm going to add $10 there. So that is all of our kind of weekly spending categories. And then I need to come down to our savings and debt binder sections. So for mini Mondays, I'm going to add $50. For travel, I'm going to add $200. For debt, I'm going to add $375. For long-term sinking funds, we're going to do $350. For Friday challenge, we're going to do $33. For the 2025 challenge, we're going to add $59. And then for our 10K box challenge, we're going to add the $385. So that gets us down to 0 for the week. So yeah, so that is the end of this weekly check-in video. It's probably going to be really long because of doing it daily, but I just thought it would be fun to kind of show what I do on a daily basis in YNAB that, isn't always as clear when I just do a once a week weekly check-in. So this week on Monday, I will have my mini Monday, my travel binder for the final time, and my long-term savings challenges. On Tuesday, I'll have my debt binder. I believe that will be for the final time. I think I said that earlier. And then on Thursday, I will have my long-term sinking funds savings challenge binder. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.